Hello and welcome back to the Peculiar Place podcast.
This is the segment Two Vees in a Pod, and we're your hostesses. I'm Mandii.
And I'm Jessii. Mandii is back. She has returned to us.
Hello.
Gracing us with her presence.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me here.
It has been an interesting time. I feel like we have a lot of stories to come back with.
Yeah.
From our time away. I have a very distressing and eerie dream to tell you that I had a couple nights ago. And then something happened this morning that kind of coincides with it, which kind of freaked me out.
Okay.
But before we get started, I just want to say thank you to our patrons. We appreciate you guys. We're posting a exclusive clip this week about me starting a cult.
Oh my god.
That's the dramatic way of putting it. But back when I was in, I don't know, early elementary school, I started a lie that went really, really far.
And for a long time, too.
A couple years, I think. And
Yeah.
I was a little delusional because I believed this lie to an extent. And I roped in a lot of people.
You did. You did.
So yeah, that makes me sound insane. And if you want to hear my little Jessii cult story, we're going to link it down below.
She led it.
I did lead it. I did lead it. And I feel so bad looking back, but we were young. We were so young. And I was delusional. So you can check it out at patreon.com/peculiarplacepodcast. Yeah, and thank you to everyone who supports this podcast. We appreciate you. Do you want to get started with your stories, or do you want me to tell you my dream first?
Okay, I gotta know the dream.
Okay, so a couple nights ago, I had this weird dream. It took place in our house, and it was nighttime in the dream.
Okay.
And I was walking into one of our guest rooms because I started hearing this weird bubbling sound. So I walked in there and I looked at the walls, and the paint on the wall was bubbling. But it was like these huge bubbles like coming across on the wall, and I was poking them and it felt like it had like water inside of it.
Trippy.
It was so weird. I was like watching them move. Like the whole wall was like a wave. It was so strange. Anyway, so I'm standing there and suddenly there's this huge crash on our roof. And part of the house caves in, like by our office. And so I call to Ty and I'm like, oh my gosh, something huge just landed on our house. And he was like, yeah, I heard that too. And so we didn't want to run outside because we were kind of freaked out. So we looked out our front window and we could kind of see part of the house. And there is a truck, like a huge, one of those big, like long trucks you see on the highway.
Yeah.
That has fallen on our house on one side. And I was like, how could that be possible? Like it just fell from the sky. And it was hard to see because it was nighttime. Anyway, we kind of stand there for a bit and then we hear another crash on the other side of the house. And I was like, what is going on? We look and it looks like a huge piece of metal from a car, again, on the other side of the house. And so I was like, Ty, call 911, like something's wrong.
Call 911.
Call 911.
There's trucks falling from the sky.
Yeah. So he calls 911, a woman picks up and she goes, I'm so sorry, we have to put you on hold. And then there's this hold music. And I was like, how 911 is putting us on hold? And Ty's like, I don't know, this is so weird.
I've had dreams where that's happened to me, or they like weren't answering.
So then we look outside again and it's daytime. Like it's bright outside and it was just like pitch black, like midnight hour. And I was like, why is the sky blue? Like you can see everything. Anyway, we're looking in the distance and suddenly we see this atomic bomb going off, which had lit up the sky. And it is huge. Like, so we're close to where it landed because like the entire sky is like yellow and like you can see it exploding in the distance and all the trees and everything are going up. And Ty takes my hand and he goes, I love you, Jess. And I was like, no, what do you mean? Like, we can save ourselves. He's like, it's too close. Like, it was like taking up our entire horizon. Like, there was no way we were going to survive. And so, like, I'm picking up Tumnus. Ty's, like, grabbing Winnie. Aww. And he's like, I love you guys so much. Like, I've had such a great life. And he's, like, telling me all these things. And I'm, like, bawling in my dream. And I was like, no, like, we can get to the basement. Like, let's grab what we can. So, like, he's grabbing, like, water bottles. I'm grabbing, like, random, like, cereal boxes that we have on the thing. And we're, like, running into the basement. And I'm, like, praying out loud to God, like, please, like, keep us safe. Like, protect us. And then I get woken up in real life because Winnie's crying because she wants to be let out in the morning to go pee. It just felt so real. It's so awful. And the whole day I felt like I was getting a second chance at life or something. You know when you have those dreams that feel so real and you almost die and then like you're like, wow, I need to appreciate this day.
So how does it correlate with something that happened to you?
Oh, okay. So
Oh my god, I'm scared.
this morning I was doing my makeup and I'm just like applying my blush or whatever and I hear something fall on the roof.
Oh my god.
And it was loud. I mean, it wasn't like a car, obviously, but it felt like a large stone or something fell on the roof. And so I went and told Ty, I'm like, something fell in the house. And so he like went out and looked around. He's like, I don't see anything. I'm like, well, something did. Like, I heard it. So I just thought that was weird. I was like, I hope this isn't starting.
I was gonna say, oh, was there a leak in your ceiling? Like,
I don't know. It felt like something dropped.
the bubbles, all of it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's pretty wild.
So I'm not psychic, so nothing's gonna happen. It could also represent something else. I don't know what. If people like, if you can read dreams, like let me know what you think's gonna happen.
Atomic bomb.
No, it's not out of the realm of possibility, which is why it felt so real.
It's giving Rogue One vibes.
Okay.
When they're like sitting on the beach, they know they're gonna die. Their planet's blowing up, and they just hold each other.
I think both of our nose is running.
Mine too.
I see it glistening, and mine
I
feels.
see yours glistening, but mine isn't running.
No, I see it glistening underneath your nose too.
But I have sparkles all over me.
No, it's like
My nose isn't running. I feel it.
I don't know.
Do you see that I have sparkles on my chest?
Yeah, I have sparkles too.
Why are you saying both of our noses are running?
I don't know. I have allergies, don't you? I have seasonal allergies. My eyes have been burning.
Do you feel that your nose is running right now?
No.
Because it looks like it is. Hold on, let me check. My nose is not running, Jess.
On the left?
Like my left?
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Where do you see that it's wet?
Underneath.
It looks like it's shining.
That's what I mean.
Like it's
Who cares?
shiny, but it's not running.
Stop picking it. Just...
I see the shine, but I don't see the...
Okay.
Look at it.
I can see. It's just glistening.
Yeah, so it's not
That's
running.
fine. I didn't say it was running.
You did. You said, I think both of our noses are running. Like, we're stupid or something.
Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. So, why don't you update us with some stories that have happened to you recently? Should we talk about Mother's Day, or do you want to go into your hotel story?
I had a very eventful weekend, like this past weekend.
Yeah.
Like Mother's Day weekend. So one of the things that had happened, so the beginning of the weekend, it all happened one by one. The three things I gotta say.
Okay.
It was a very rough weekend, okay? So the first thing was I ordered the Baby Brezza formula. It's like a Keurig for babies, okay? You like put the formula in it and you put a bottle under it and you press the button and it asks you how many ounces or whatever, and it mixes and warms up the bottle immediately, so you don't have to do anything.
I love that.
That's it. It's
Wow.
a Keurig for babies.
For babies.
It's not cheap. It was like $2.99.
Wow.
So I ordered it from Toys R Us. Can I say it?
Yeah.
I want to say it.
Who cares? Yeah.
Truly, I want to say this.
It's a review. You're a customer.
I ordered it from Toys R Us, okay? When it came, it was very, very clearly and obviously had been used, because there was nastiness, corrosion. Like, I must have pictures. I gotta show you, Jess.
Like pieces of
It's disgusting. Like
caked milk?
yeah. Caked. It was disgusting.
Ew.
I paid almost $300, and this is what came.
That's disgusting. It was probably a return that they put back out.
There was like, there was stains. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Stains all over it. Like, it was dirty.
It looks like there's fingerprints all over it.
Look at
Ew. Okay,
brand new.
send me those photos so we can show it on our screen for our visual listeners.
It's like, at least clean it first if you're gonna try and send me something that's used.
They don't
At least
care.
clean it. Anyway, so I'm pissed because I just spent this money. I'm waiting for it to come in, and I'm like, this is like for my kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, this is for babies, children, and it's Toys R Us for babies. Babies R Us for kids. And I just can't believe that they would send me a product for my child and have it be in that
Condition.
condition. So anyway, I'm trying to find some sort of link on the email, the confirmation email, delivery, whatever. I can't find anything that would lead me to complain, returns, exchanges, whatever. So I went online to Google, and there was a number that came up for customer service, and I called it, and it was not a real number. It was like, this number is not assigned or whatever.
Of course.
So I'm like, what the So then I called a random store because I'm like, hey, the number's not working. What's your customer service line? Send me to somebody. I need to talk to somebody. And they were like, okay, I'll get you my manager. And then the manager's like, hey, give us your order number. I gave them my order number. And they're like, okay. So there's nothing we can do about this. You have to go online to the website and do the online chat. You know, like some websites that are like, there's a messenger that you can ask questions or whatever.
It's like a robot half the time.
Yeah, and I'm like, can I not just speak to a person? Like,
Yeah.
can you not just send me to somebody that I can speak to on the phone?
Yeah.
They were like, no, sorry, you have to go online. So I'm pissed. I go online, I do the messenger thing. They're like, okay, do you want a refund or do you want like an exchange for a new product? And I asked Luca this because I'm like, do I want a refund or exchange? I don't know. I've had a bad experience. So I was leaning on refund, but Luca's like, but we need it. And we had a gift card from our baby shower, and that's why, because it's expensive. We had like a $50 gift card. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, exchanged it. In saying that, I was like, do you guys ship used products? And they didn't respond to that. They responded to everything else, ignored that comment. So I just want to say that I'm really disappointed. I'm really grossed out. I'm really, like, upset that they would do this to, like, kids' products.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel, like, icky for, like, our kids and our children. So just be aware of that when you're ordering from Toys R Us.
So many companies do that. Like, I don't know if you saw Shane Dawson's video about how Target, I think it was Target.
Terrible.
If you return makeup, they won't even look at it and they'll put it back on the shelf. So if you go to the Target aisle to the makeup, like, and you open all those, like, eyeshadows and stuff, like, they're all, like, there's fingerprints in them and they're all gross. And even with, like, I shop online for books all the time, and especially Amazon, people can make their own Amazon storefronts but also claim to be the official author. So, like, sometimes I'll buy new books because I don't like to buy used books a lot of the time, because when I do, they come back smelling like cigarettes or they have stains and stuff. So I don't know, I don't like that. So I ordered new books, but they come and you know that they're not new books. Like, they're covered in coffee stains, they're ripped up,
it's just not fair.
They smell like someone's house.
You're paying for the price of a new product.
Yeah, so you should get a new product. They should specify, like, if you were going to buy that from Toys R Us, it should say previously used or a return item or whatever, and then discount it.
Also, this happened to me with my breast pumps.
Wait,
Amazon.
Surely they cannot resell those.
They were dirty. And I bought them brand new, expensive. It was Cozy Mom breast pump. And I got it from Amazon, brand new. And it came in and, like, the packaging wasn't quite right. It had been opened.
No.
And kind of just thrown together in the box. And then opening the breast pump, there was, like, a little bit of milk stains.
No. Because, like, you can't return bras. You can't return panties. Like, because that's all your intimate areas. Like, you shouldn't be able to return a breast pump. That's crazy to me.
This world is going to shit in a handbag. Truly, like, the prices are going up.
And companies don't care.
And you're getting used shit.
Yeah.
Places
are
not
desperate.
okay.
They don't care
It's not
anymore.
okay. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that happened. And then I had a wedding to go to on Saturday. Like, I was in the wedding party. I was a bridesmaid. And so we went down to Toronto. She had booked a room at the Royal York Hotel.
Which is really nice.
Yes. Expensive.
Yeah.
Like, the rooms?
Well, they're not updated.
No, they're, like, old as shit.
Isn't it from, like, the 1800s?
So I can't even, like, okay, you walk in and it's beautiful. The bar is really nice. It's
the lobby, yeah.
It's very bougie. It's very flashy, glamorous, old money, regal.
Yeah.
Okay? But the rooms look like the Monte Carlo Inn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I would be pissed. Anyway. Sorry. Not sorry. because of the way you treated me when I got there. So literally, I walk in with my dress, right? Holding my dress. Obviously, my hair and makeup is not done because I'm going there to get my hair and makeup done by the professionals that are in the room with the bridesmaids. So I'm going in there. I have a big bag with Prosecco and orange juice, and it's like obvious that I'm a bridesmaid.
Right.
So I walk in, and if you know the Royal York Hotel, you go up the stairs, and then there's like the long aisle of elevators. Okay? So every time I click like the button to go up an elevator, like one on the farther end opens, and then by the time I get there, it closes, and then another one opens on the other side. By the time I get there, it closes, and I'm like, I can't run because I'm carrying all this shit. And then this one bitch gets into one of the elevators, sees me struggling. I'm on my way, and she doesn't even leave it open for me. By the time I get there, it closes in my face, and I'm like, oh. I literally was like, oh. And she like literally did not give a shit. Like, she did not hold the door for me. She did not help me. And then there was this creepy old man. He wasn't that old. He was like 60 probably. He was creepy. He like was watching me like that I was waiting for an elevator. And by the time it opened, I knew I would get into it with him, and I refused to do that. I was like, I'm not getting into this this too many Netflix documentaries about hotels and elevators. I can't. So I don't want to be the next one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not getting on that. It's like right in front of us both. So he's like watching me like, why aren't you going in? And I pretend to have like a phone call with somebody. I pretend to go on the phone. And he's not even going in. He's waiting for me to go in, which creeped me to the core because I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted me to go in there with him. Anyway. So I like walk away. I'm pretending to be on my phone. Finally, I'm alone. I get into a elevator that opened for me, and I get in and I'm alone. The buttons aren't working.
Oh, no.
And now I'm stressed because I'm trapped in this elevator. The buttons aren't working. So I click the open thing again. It opens. I walk out. I'm like, clearly you need some sort of pass code something. So I call the bride 3 times, and she didn't pick up.
Like, yeah, it's her wedding day.
She didn't answer. So I called the bridesmaid group. It was like 7 a.m. The maid of honor answers, and she's like, hey, like, what's going on? And I'm like, I am so confused. I'm having a really hard time with the elevators. I have no idea why it's not working for me. I tried to call the bride, and she's like, yeah, we're not bothering the bride this morning. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I get to the room?
Right,
like, I don't even know what to do. So they're like, okay, go to the reception desk, and you need to ask them to allow you to get up to the room.
What?
I'm like, seriously? So I walk over to the complete opposite end of the hotel with all my shit, okay? Everyone's so, like, looks so good and so nice. Like, this is downtown Toronto, right? Like, I'm a country girl. Like, I don't belong here. So I get to the reception desk, walk up, and then there's, like, these people that are getting helped, right? So I'm standing there waiting to be offered help.
Right.
Right? Because that's, like, the polite thing to do. I'm not just going to walk up to somebody. And then there's this, like, young man staring me down. And I'm like, is he going to offer to help me? I guess not. Okay, I'm going to walk up to him. So I walked up to him. I'm like, hi. He didn't say anything. He just stared. I'm trying to get up to a room. He's looking at me. He's like, okay. I'm like,
hello.
I'm like, okay, it's on floor 4. It's room 262, whatever. And he's like, okay, are they expecting you? I'm like, yes, they're expecting me. I'm a bridesmaid. Look at
the bag.
Literally, hence the Prosecco, orange juice, and I'm carrying like what am I? Some stalker trying to get up? Anyway, so he's like, so they need to come down and get you.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, okay, well, they just told me that I have to come here and ask to be allowed up. Like, people are already up there. He's like, nope, you got to get one of them to come down and get you. So I'm like, okay, I'm literally on the verge of tears now. So I called back the maid of honor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this guy at the front desk, he's a total dick. He's not letting me up. Somebody has to come down and get me. And she's like, no. Like, you need to find somebody else to allow you to get up.
Okay, but that's annoying because why can't she just come down?
I know.
I'm sorry.
I told Heather this yesterday, and she was like, why didn't they just come get you? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. Because when I got up there, no one was doing anything. Anyway, so this was my experience. So I'm like, okay. So then I walk over to this other place called the concierge. Concierge?
Yeah, something like that.
It's a woman. So I walk up to her. I'm flustered. I'm annoyed. I'm stressed. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get up to a room. It's for a wedding. I'm trying to get with the bridesmaids. They told me that you have to allow me to get up to the room. The guy at the front desk was a dick, and he's not letting me up. And apparently they just let up 7 people, according to the maid of honor. So, like, can you help me? And she was like, are they expecting you? I'm like, yes.
Obviously.
Call them.
It's a wedding.
Call them.
Yeah.
So she called up to the room, and she's like, hi, I have Mandii here. Are you expecting her? They're like, yes. So she's like, okay, follow me. And we walk to the other end of the hotel to a new set of elevators, and she has to literally, like, allow me up there. Like, we went in together. She punched in all these things, has a little card, and, like, allows me to go up. And I'm thinking, this is ridiculous.
That's
like, is this,
crazy.
like, am I going to the Elton John suite? Like, I literally can't with this.
Maybe they have celebrities coming in all the time.
I'm sure. I just can't. I can't with this. Like, they're so stuck up and snooty and snotty there. Like,
That's crazy.
if you don't look expensive, I felt like Pretty Woman. You know, when she goes into the store and they, like, judge her because they assume she has no money.
I love that movie.
And she's like, she had money to spend.
Yeah.
She had money to spend. And they were, like, being mean to her. That's how I felt. Then I got up there, and, you know, like, some people are getting their hair and makeup done. The bride got her hair and makeup done last. So,
You should have arrived in your gown already.
yeah, I was like, literally, it was 7 a.m. We didn't leave the hotel until like 1:30.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't. It was an experience. Anyways, it ended up being a beautiful wedding. It was wonderful. It was stunning. The bride and groom are amazing. Loved them. It was great. It's just that being downtown in that kind of environment, getting treated that way, it felt like shit. Like, it didn't.
Yeah.
It sucked, and it was a shitty beginning to the morning for me.
Yeah, that would stress me the hell
Just
out.
for me, you know.
Yeah, I would have cried probably.
I was on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
It didn't feel good.
I don't like that stuff.
And then Mother's Day happened, which was the next day.
And I was there for this.
It was the next day.
Yeah.
So there's this restaurant we've been going to for like over a decade next to where we used to grow up, my parents' house.
It's an Italian
restaurant. It's a
restaurant.
little Italian restaurant, family owned, never busy, great food, chill vibes. My first Mother's Day, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be in the area. Let's go there for dinner. We'll invite my in-laws who are also Italian. They'll appreciate like the authentic family style Italian food. It'll be great. So we get there, and it is absolutely ram-packed to the point where you couldn't even walk in and out. We walk in with my stroller, and I'm immediately like screamed at to like, you can't let your stroller in here. There's no strollers in here. And I'm thinking, bitch, it's Mother's Day. Also, I have an infant who cannot sit.
That's her seat.
Yeah.
That's literally her seat.
She cannot sit in a high chair yet. Okay? Every restaurant that I've been to has been stroller friendly and accommodating. Yeah. Just move a couple chairs.
Right.
That's
it's not that hard.
So now we're in the middle of the restaurant taking apart my stroller, which is like $800, and I don't want to lose it. Cause I'm like, I'm not putting this just in some random corner. So we get there, we sit. Our waiter was
unfriendly. Listen, the second we saw him, he was like frowning, saying hello,
sighing,
and taking our order,
rolling his eyes.
Every time you were taking something, he was like rolling his eyes, sighing. Yeah, like it was
like we were bothering him.
I asked for a dish, and I just asked for one of the toppings to be removed, and he goes, I don't think we can do that. And I was like, okay, you can't remove this one thing from the pasta? Honestly. And he like starts rolling his eyes, and I go, okay, fine, sure. Just give me the whole thing. That's fine.
So my sister-in-law, Monica, was asking for a wine list, and that was a problem. He was like, and he like was naming them off to her, and she's like, can I just have the wine list? Like,
yeah.
And he's like, it's by the bottle. And she was like, oh, okay, well, can I still see the list? And then, so eventually he got us the list, and it was by the glass. Like, he was full of shit. Like, it wasn't just by the bottle.
Yeah.
So
Well, we've had wine there before, by the glass.
So we're ordering by the glass. My mother-in-law didn't get her wine until halfway through appetizers. My mother didn't get her appetizer
Until dinner.
until the mains came out. My father-in-law didn't get his main until all of us finished ours.
Can we talk about how Ty sat down?
And got stung by a hornet
He sits down.
immediately.
And we're just like talking about what to order. And he looks at Dad and he goes, is there a spider on my back? I feel something burning on my back. Like, it was so casual. And so Dad and I look, and there's a huge, like, wasp hornet thing flying around on his back. And I was like, Ty, you were just stung by a wasp. He was like, what? And then his whole back swelled up. Like, I was, like, rubbing his back, and I could feel the bump.
Oh,
I felt so bad for
him. So, yeah, he got stung by a freaking hornet. And everybody there that works there, the servers, all of them look overworked. They look stressed. They look irritated. They have bad attitudes. And first of all, also, where I sat could have fit my stroller perfectly.
100%.
There was a whole ass area.
A lot of room, yeah.
I want to stress that it was Mother's Day. Okay? And I'm not allowed a stroller. The bill.
Well, before the bill, when we got our pastas, the lady was coming around with the Parmesan cheese and asking people if she wanted them. She stops at Ty, looks at me, and walks away. And I want Parmesan
I never even
cheese.
got offered Parmesan cheese.
And so she walks away, and then when she comes back doing something else, Dad was like, oh, you forgot my daughter. Like, do you mind just bringing back the Parmesan cheese? You didn't ask her if she wanted any. She goes, okay. Yeah, never came back.
I never even got
and
offered.
I was waiting. Because I don't want to eat until I have the Parmesan. This is such first world problems. But, like, come on.
Okay,
like,
no.
You're paying a lot.
You're paying. That's the other thing. 20% gratuity is included already.
Right.
So these people are getting their money no matter how they're treating you.
Right.
No matter what service it is. Anyway, no, we never even had the conversation of the bill on our end. We never even had an offering of Parmesan cheese. Okay, I would have liked that. That would have been nice. Okay. And like all I have to say is like in a business, if you're unable to keep up with the demand, don't pack your restaurant like sardines just to make money.
No,
like I don't understand.
Like the tables were so close together, you couldn't move, you couldn't get up from your chair.
It was hot.
Yeah, I couldn't breathe.
The waiter was sweating all over the place.
Like, guys, this place is small, and they decided
Tiny.
to pack like 100 people.
Oh my god! And it's like
room.
no wonder you're stressed. You did it to yourself.
No, but it's also like a fire hazard.
Oh,
like
you could not get in and out.
No,
like there was. Oh,
people were pressed against the walls, over top, layered, like
one way in and one way out.
It was terrifying. Such first world problems.
No, but it's like you work hard for your money. And you want to spend it.
You want to have a nice day.
You want to have a nice Mother's Day. It was my first Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You know.
That's okay to want. And it's okay to be disappointed when stuff like this happens. Okay? We're only human.
I just feel like these days, going back to the Toys R Us situation, among others, people don't give a shit these days about customer service.
No.
People don't care about. They just want to make their money. It's so wrong.
But if you go on the reviews of the restaurant, it's all 1 stars from Mother's Day. And
I
people
know.
saying the same thing.
I saw that.
Yeah, you packed us in like sardines. We couldn't move. We didn't get our orders right.
Yeah.
It was so sloppy. Like, it sucks. Like, because, you know, yeah, they made probably thousands of dollars that day, but are those people going to come back?
Hell to the no.
So was it worth it?
We've been going for like a decade. I'm never
me too.
stepping foot back in there again.
It
never.
Sucks. It sucks for them. And also, one of our subscribers was there. She DM'd me, or he or she, I'm not sure, DM'd me later that night and was like, hi, I saw your whole family, and I was just nervous to say hello. And I was like, you probably couldn't even have got to me if you wanted to. You'd have to climb over 8 tables to say hello.
Literally. So my first Mother's Day wasn't that great as far as the dinner went.
Yeah.
But the day was fine. We went for a walk. I spent time with my kid. I spent time with family. Mother's Days should be simple.
Yeah.
You know, it should be easy. It should be simple. It should be all about family time. And I think I just learned my lesson, like, just no public restaurants
On Mother's Day.
on special occasions.
We've had good experiences at
Yeah.
like tea shops and stuff because they don't overpack.
I know.
But you have to book like 3 months in advance.
I know.
But that's almost better.
Maybe next time. Next time we'll just like go to Laura or something.
Yeah, those places are nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, even like last year, that buffet place we went to was so packed. Remember last year coming
Buffet?
back from a cottage we went to? We went to like a
Oh,
buffet and
yes.
like the lines and
oh my
like.
gosh, I was so pregnant.
Yeah.
I was so pregnant.
But you were secretly pregnant.
That's right. I
Yeah.
was so nauseous.
Yeah. Anyways, though, I hope everyone else had a good Mother's Day.
Yeah, I hope you had a good Mother's Day, and that was my weekend away experience. One
Yeah,
thing
what a
after the
mess.
other after the other.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to some trending topics. I wanted to talk about the King Charles painting that was unveiled. There is like video of him pulling down like the
Jump scare.
tarp like coming off of it, and it is a pure red, sort of abstract coloring of his portrait. And people have opinions, okay? He even looked scared when he pulled it off.
Yeah.
You know, he even looked like, oh my God, why is it so red? So people are saying it looks like he's either like standing in hell with
Yeah.
fire all around
Burning.
him, or it looks like it's a representation of how like the royals have blood on their hands, right? From a lot of reasons that we know. It just looks very daunting, evil, just not good. You know, and people are wondering why that choice was made. And there are some artists that I've seen on TikTok talking about how this artist probably played them in a way. And this is all alleged, right? We don't know what his intentions were. But artists are very intentional, right? And people are wondering if he wanted to make a statement secretly, which is why he made it red.
I don't know
and,
if it was secretly, but
well, he
Very bold.
He probably told them like, oh, it represents the love, that you love each other, and red for love, and pure and everything. But secretly, I mean, even the way the brush strokes are done, it looks like fire.
flames.
And then there's like the crazy conspiracists who have like inverted, like mirrored it and inverted it, and it looks like a devil head with like horns and stuff. Like, it's so weird. I don't know. But like, they're gonna put this on the wall in the palace? It's just so weird to me. Like, and I understand, like, abstract is cool. The use of color and stuff, like, you can do that. But like, maybe purple, royal, or blue, or maybe yellow.
Red is a very bold color.
Right.
Especially like for like the background of your portrait.
And it's like over his skin. And
It's everything. Yeah.
everything.
It's all over.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, as a creative myself, I don't understand.
I wonder if there's going to be like interviews with the artist explaining his decision.
Oh, I'm sure there has been already.
There's gotta be. Curious to see that.
But it's gonna be bullshit, right? Like, it's gonna be like, oh, it means this. Like, trust me, when I was in art school, you had to bullshit anything that you were making. Like, oh, the sky represents a childhood that I long for, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to, like, make it up, even though it's just a sky. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Anyway, it's just bizarre.
Very bizarre.
Very strange.
Yeah.
He literally jumped.
Bad vibes. Bad vibes.
Just curious, did you watch Baby Reindeer?
The first like 2 episodes, and I know what happens, but I haven't like really seen it.
So you've
But
seen,
I know what happens.
Have you seen the discourse online and how they found the real girl? So it's based on a true story, Baby Reindeer, and it's about a guy who had a woman show up one day at the bar that he was working at and said she didn't have any money. She just wanted to sit there. And so he gave her a tea. And since then, she would show up like every day at the bar just to talk to him. It became very much a stalker situation where she somehow got his email, was sending him thousands of emails like a week. I think like she sent like 400,000 emails in total or something. And it was crazy. And each email got more and more like unhinged and sexual and very odd.
The writing was so weird too.
Yeah. like she couldn't spell properly, but she claimed to be a lawyer, and she would show up. He was also like a comedian on the side as a hobby, and she would show up at his shows and like pester him or like laugh or like whatever, and it was very odd. Anyway, so like if you watch the show, it literally says this is a true story. Like it doesn't say it's based on a true story. It says this is a true like retelling, like a true story.
You know that it's the actual guy.
Yeah, so that the guy who acts as himself in the movie, it's him.
Yeah,
It's what actually
and he like
happened to him.
produced it and wrote it and everything.
Yeah, so people are good detectives, you know, they're internet sleuths, and they went online and they were able to find the real girl, because in the show she says something like, I want you to hang my curtains or something like that, which is like, you know, a euphemism for your lady bits, right? Like it's a sexual thing. Anyway, people were able to like look into the history of Twitter and like find where she was sending him those things, and found the actual woman who the whole show was based off of. And they started like going after her and bothering her, and eventually she went on to the Piers Morgan show. I don't know if you know that guy. Mm-hmm. And he interviewed her, and she was basically saying how upset she is that Netflix would do this to her and like out her and say it was a true story when most of it's fake. And so she's suing Netflix and she's taking them to court. And I think she has a case, because even if she did all these things, like the fact that she's saying she didn't go to jail for it, like in the show it says she did, she wasn't charged for anything in real life, and you can actually like look online and see that she wasn't. So if they had said based on a true story, I think they would have been okay. But because it says this is a true story, I think she has a case. She can win millions of dollars. It's just crazy.
I can see that. Yep.
Yeah. So.
And I mean, can we also talk about like how also a little odd it is that it's him portraying himself in those really, really traumatic situations? And do you have to be like a little bit narcissistic to do that? I mean, I feel like to want to relive that experience and film it and act it out and like act out your trauma. Well, for a show.
You know what happened to him? Yeah, like he was R-worded by someone.
And to film it.
Yeah, there was
acting.
I had to stop watching the show, actually. There was, I think it was episode 4 or 5, where the entire 1-hour episode was literally him. It reminded me of watching The Outlander, like having to watch like an entire episode of just that.
I haven't seen that episode yet, but I've heard about it.
So yeah, it was pretty brutal, and like you're right, like what would make him wanna
relive it,
act that out again?
Although I mean I don't mean to say like the word narcissistic. Because maybe it's healing for him in a way.
I don't know.
I just feel like there's something to unpack there as far like psychologically, because I can't imagine anybody wanting to like be like, okay, like the cameras are around, we're gonna relive and retell my trauma,
and it's like
and it's gonna be acting.
Yeah,
like a very real, raw, traumatic, authentic experience. We're gonna pretend again to do it.
And the strange thing is, like he's always said in interviews, like he doesn't want the real people to be found out, right? But if that's the case and you wanted to tell this story, then don't cast yourself, cast someone else, and then don't make it so obvious who it is, right? Because if you're showing the real tweets and the real emails and stuff like that, people can easily find who it came from. But that's
another thing too. It's like, I love like a true story or whatever, and like the person who it happened to being directly involved in the production of it and even writing it.
But then make it a documentary.
That, but also like to play yourself and relive all of those moments. I think there's something weird about it.
Yeah. I agree.
And like I'm saying that with like, I'm just saying that's how, like, it's a little strange to me, but I mean, who knows? Like it could be like a healing experience for him. It could be something that's helping him work through the trauma. I'm not sure.
We couldn't possibly know, but as outsiders looking in,
it's a little strange.
It's odd.
It's a little strange.
It's an odd choice. Yeah.
Because it's very dark. Like it's a dark story.
Yeah, but people are thinking that just like the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case was televised, they're thinking this is going to become that. And people have conspiracies that Netflix might have done it on purpose to have this worldwide, everyone's going to be watching this court case, everyone's going to watch the show beforehand. It's going to be a really big thing. You know, especially because she's saying, oh, I didn't send him all those emails. If you decide to go to court like she is, those things have to be unearthed and you have to actually find out those things. So it's going to be entertaining in the worst way, but it will be, right, for people. So
I feel like Netflix and the guy had to have their ducks in a row to be able to make a production like that.
Right. I think, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if she can sue, but people are thinking she can. But they also have billions of dollars, so is it really going to hurt? Maybe they're like, you know what, we'll take this, but also it's going to make it a great, viewing. I don't know.
I always thought it was strange when, like, there's movies or TV shows that are true stories that, like, people are portrayed as other people and they never really got the, like, permission from certain people to film and create something like that.
That's why you have to say based on a true story.
Like the Dahmer,
right?
The victims and stuff. Like like the victims came forward, like the victims' families. I mean, were like we were never spoken to or asked, or we were not a part of this.
Well, I think with that though, like if it's something that's been in the news and is widely known, I think you're allowed to talk about it.
But like imagine something happening to your family member and then going on Netflix and seeing somebody act as your family member.
No, I mean, that's awful.
And you weren't even approached.
That's awful, but I think it's legal. I
just think it's so strange. Like, it's definitely legal, but I just find it, like, these are real people's lives and real people's stories, and shouldn't there be some sort of, like, permission or...
Yeah, you would think so, but these people... don't care.
It's
That's like the theme of the day. Companies don't care. They just want that money.
Like, I also feel the same way about, like, when you make movies about, like, artists that have passed away and stuff. Like, the Amy Winehouse one is a little strange to me.
Yeah, it's all very odd.
Yeah.
This next thing is actually really creepy. The Vatican came out with this new law or rule that says that any bishop that has been presented with evidence of the supernatural, they cannot confirm or deny to the person claiming this thing that it's real. He has to first go to the Pope and ask the Pope, and the Pope can be like, yeah, that's a real ghost or a real alien, or yes, you actually saw the Virgin Mary as an apparition. Like, bishops can no longer confirm or deny people anything. So, like, I don't know. They have weird examples, like if you see a statue weeping blood,
right,
and you go to your bishop, and let's say the bishop even sees it. The bishop can't be like, yeah, that's real. He has to first go to the Pope, present the information to the Pope, and the Pope will have to announce it. So people are wondering, like, why now? Like, is something about to happen? People are wondering if aliens are coming. And, like, it's just weird. It's weird timing to pay so much attention to the supernatural to make a law about it right now. And it's televised and, like, everyone's talking about it. Like, why...
I think I've heard once before that you also, like, priests and stuff have to get permission from the Pope to perform exorcisms. They have to present
with this rule now, you have to, for sure.
But I thought that was always a thing. I remember seeing in, like, a horror movie or something where they're like, oh, I have to, like, present the case to the Pope and get permission. Or maybe it wasn't the Pope. Maybe it was, like, the priest, like, just a priest.
Yeah, maybe. But now, like,
I'm not sure.
It has to be the Pope.
But I thought I knew that already when it came to, like, exorcisms and stuff. They had to actually present a case to the Pope or to some high priest of some kind to get them to say, like, yes, that person is possessed. That person needs an exorcism. Or are they just crazy?
But, like, let's say, like, they're in the middle of a church service and alien UFOs fly over the church and the bishop witnesses
Call
it.
the Pope!
And yeah, all the people witness it and they're like, what does this mean? Is this the end of the world? Does this mean blah, blah, blah? The bishop has to be like, I cannot comment. So it's weird, but it is what it is.
I guess that's what they're supposed to do, but I have a feeling that they would comment.
If it actually happened.
I feel like those are the rules, but I don't know if they actually follow the rules. Do they?
I think they do. It's pretty serious.
Some of them.
It's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Did you see the time traveler in the Airbnb shed?
Yes. I don't know, Jess.
So this guy who has an Airbnb property was showing footage of this strange man with a backpack walking onto his lawn, kind of looking around confused for a little bit, and then he walks into the guy's very tiny shed. There's only one way in, one way out, and he doesn't come out again. And he, like, fast forwards the tape, shows that the guy's been in there, like, all day. He calls the cops. He shows the footage of the cops coming in. They look in the shed. The guy's not in there. They're looking all over the property. And then a couple days later, it shows an old man coming out of the shed and walking out. And people are saying it's a time traveler. And what's weird is that people have taken screenshots of this old man's face, like, coming out of the shed, and they've looked it up on the internet, and they found a man who died back in 2018 who was obsessed. He was a scientist. He was obsessed with time travel and the ability to do it. And he had this website that showed you how you can time travel. And it's actually a really creepy website. It looks like it was made in like in 1991 or something. And like, he was obsessed with it. And it looks just like the guy that came out of the shed.
Do you believe in time travel, Jess? Do you believe in time travel?
No.
Right. That's it. End of conversation. It's just so silly.
Do you think he did it just to advertise his Airbnb? Do you think
know.
it was all a marketing strategy?
Could be. Isn't everything?
You don't believe in time travel at all?
No.
I feel like I could be convinced.
In time travel?
Time is not linear.
But you think that as a human, you can travel the timeline?
Listen, I love sci-fi books. Anything to believe that those are true. I feel like I could be convinced, okay? I might be gullible in this subject. Right now, do I believe? No. But if you sat me down and showed me a presentation and you had scientists in here, because there are real scientists, credible, that believe in time travel and believe different things about time and going back and how time works, I think I could sit here after and be like, you know what? I think it's real.
We don't have the power or capability to travel time.
Have you not seen old photographs that have not been manipulated?
Yes. And it's weird.
People back in the 1800s, and there's a guy in sunglasses and like a band rock t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Do I think this case is real? Probably not. It sounds like a guy who wants to market his Airbnb because not everyone wants to go. And they want to see the shed, right? It's actually a great idea. I want to go see the shed, you know?
Yeah.
I want to go stay there.
Yeah.
It worked on me. Do I think it's real? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
The correlation with the scientist that looks just like the guy who came out of the shed is weird because he's real and he has a real obituary and it's legit and they look similar. We're going to move on and we're going to talk about some fictional characters that a lot of people love, some people don't like. And the question is, did these fictional couples stay together after the movie? So we're going to comment on their potential. Do we think they stayed together forever until they got old? Do we think they broke up soon after or divorced?
Okay.
So all these movies end in a happy ending, but how happy is it if we look at this critically?
All right.
Okay? The first one is Mia and Nicholas from Princess Diaries 2.
Oh, they're a little problematic, but in the end.
But I think they are together because they are king and queen now, right?
No.
Oh, they left?
She became queen without any man.
Wait. Okay, I need to rewatch this movie.
She became queen. She changed the rule.
Oh, right, and he became, like, super soft, and he was like, oh, I'm not gonna...
She's better for the country.
Than I am, yeah.
And he fell in love with her.
Right. So actually, no, I don't believe they're still together, because how would they be?
Listen, I liked the first guy. What was his name?
Oh, the band guy?
I liked him.
That gave her a pizza with M&Ms?
Yeah.
That looked good. That looked so good, but...
It only looked good because the pizza looked good. The pizza looked
it looks
good.
scrumptious.
Yeah. Do you know that we got a Pizza Nova here now?
Oh, really?
At Pizza Nova.
Ty loves that pizza.
It's the best pizza.
It's legit.
And of course, it just got here when we're leaving. When we're moving.
Right. I'm sure there's a Pizza Nova.
Pizza Nova is literally the best. And no, it's nowhere near where we're going to be.
We have one near us, but you don't see them very often.
No, because they're few and far between. They're so good.
So wait, what's your thought on these people?
I like Nicholas.
I like Nicholas too, but
I
they
also
survive?
feel like they are like too similar. That's why they butt heads.
Right, and now that she's
You know what I could see?
What?
You know, like problematic lovers, where it's like they are super passionate. They probably have super hot sex, and like, but they like fight a lot. And so, like, they never get married. You know, like, she probably finds a really nice guy that, like, you know, she gets married to. But, like, throughout her life, she, like, kind of goes back and forth between Nicholas and, like, her newfound love. But, like...
Or she thinks of him often. Of, like, wow, that was a fiery relationship. Like, I miss that.
Yeah, and, like, if ever he comes to the castle for a visit...
She visits him.
There's a visit.
There's a visit, for sure.
Yeah,
okay.
in the closet.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, this next one might be controversial.
It's very specific.
Andy and Ben from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh my god.
They didn't stay together.
They're so hot.
They did not stay together.
They're so hot.
They are like two opposites attract, button heads. And I know like she was annoying because she was putting it on, but I also feel like that was like 70% her real
I think
personality.
they're together.
What?
I think they're together. Do you remember the first night that they met? Do you know that Luke and I watch this movie so often that like
Really?
he quotes it all the time? He's like, "Where's that super sexy, fun, cool Andy?" Like, yeah, we watch that movie.
He's
often.
too much. I do not like his personality at all.
I think he's so hot.
He looks good, but he
all
would
right,
drive me
all
nuts.
right. No, I think he's hot. I think in that movie specifically too.
So did they stay together forever?
Yeah, I think they did. And I think they had kids. And bullshit, mama. The family, you know?
I disagree. I think they stayed together for 5 years, and then it fell apart.
No.
Yeah. Next is Danny and Sandy from Grease.
No.
No, because...
Super toxic.
Right.
She changed herself, and then he was like, wow.
Yeah.
They're like, the whole thing was like, especially at the end, they both wanted to change for each other. And that's not going to work.
No. They were trying too hard to make it work. And that's not going to last forever.
Super toxic.
She's going to get tired of wearing the greased up curly hair and the tight tops.
The tight pants.
And top. After a time, she's like, I can't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And then he got bored.
Sandy! That was cute though. That when he's like trying to impress her and he like signs up for sports.
And he's like tripping all over the... That's a good
Sandy.
movie. I haven't seen that forever. Okay, Jim and Pam from The Office. Yeah. There's no other answer but yes. And do you know why?
The ending was a little rocky.
Right, but I think they worked it out. Everything's fine.
There was a little bit of a moment between her and the camera guy though. There's a moment.
Okay, but in the end, they stayed together. They had kids.
Yeah.
Like, I can see them together because they're like your normal, boring, average couple.
Yeah.
Which, no offense, but like those stay forever.
Yeah, and I feel like all relationships go through rockiness.
Yeah.
And theirs was pretty realistic.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was so normal.
I just didn't like what Jim was doing. At the end, I didn't really like the way he was treating Pam. I didn't really like...
I like everything about Jim. I honestly do.
Right.
You can't change my mind.
Kind of looks like a Muppet to me, but...
He does not look like a Muppet. You crazy? In what way?
I don't know. He looks
Absolutely
like a Muppet.
not.
He looks like a Muppet.
Okay. Well, you
But I
can
love
have
him. He's
Matthew
fine.
McConaughey and his weird...
I'm fine with having Matthew McConaughey, thanks.
Sam and Austin from Cinderella Story.
No, she can
No.
do way better.
And you know why? Because this takes place in high school, right? No one stays with their high school lover.
There was nothing good about him. He's like, oh, I don't want to be the football guy. It's like, okay. That's like all you have to say. I don't want to be the football guy. Everyone thinks I'm the football guy. My dad wants me to be the football guy, and I don't want to be the football guy.
Okay, but Chad Mitchell-Murray, I love him.
He looks really good now. Have you seen what he looks like now?
He's always looked good, Mandii.
No. He's older. Like, you know I like them older. You know I like the older
Guys
ones.
age
He's
so
a
well.
daddy now. Like, he's a daddy now. Young him, I'm like, ew. Like, ew. No. Young him,
Wow,
ew.
we have such different...
He has such a douchey face. Like, he's so, like...
No, I love it. I love it. You know what? I saw an interview with him.
Face.
You know how he plays... Was it Chad in Friday...
The Chad.
Well, is that his name in it?
The Chad.
The Chad?
No, that's...
I know, you're thinking
Charlie's
of...
Angels.
No, but is that his name, Chad, in Freaky Friday?
I don't know.
I don't remember, but he just did an interview on the red carpet, and they were like, would you bring him back? Like, would you be in the next movie? And he was like, hell yeah. But I have to be asked. So I really hope they ask him.
No, he's got to be. No, because if ever you're going to make, like, a good remake, you've got to have the originals. You've got to have the originals.
And he's down for it, so put him in there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't know yet, like you'd think, because they're about to film that. So I really hope they bring him in. Okay.
Do you think I have too many hot takes? Do you think I'm too honest on this podcast? I feel like I'm going to be hated.
No.
I feel like I'm going to be hated. Should I tone it down?
No one wants you to tone it down.
Wait. No, actually, this has to be questioned.
Oh my God.
Make it a TikTok. Should I tone it down? Am I being too honest? Am I being too harsh? Am I being too mean? I feel like... Am I?
No, but I'm also used to you.
But I'm very... I feel like I'm very... sometimes I say things I don't mean.
Yeah, but that's why this podcast works. I think if we were both just, like, subtle and didn't have opinions, like, it'd be boring.
Yeah, it'd be boring, but I don't want to be hated.
And no one hates you.
I feel like I say what comes into my head, And sometimes it can come out harsh, but like if I really sit and simmer and marinate on it, like I regret what I said about Adam Sandler. I regret it. I regret it. I feel like it was mean, and I didn't mean it. Like, I feel like I'm not, like, into his acting in his movies, but I don't hate him.
I just think people need to stop taking things so seriously.
Yeah.
I think it's the people that are the issue, because you got a lot of hate for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, does it really matter? We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But also, let me know if you feel triggered by me and my aggression. Let me know, because I feel bad. I don't want to upset anybody.
No one is triggered.
I'm not authentically like angry all the time. Like,
yeah.
Do I come across as angry all the time?
No, not angry. You just have opinions, and that's totally fine.
But my opinion doesn't matter.
That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't matter.
I want everyone to know that I know that my opinion doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
Who cares?
With anything,
who cares
that's
what
the
I say?
case.
Seriously, like, don't take it personally. I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I don't mean what I say, like, really. Like, if I say I hate somebody, you know?
Yeah.
I don't hate anybody.
That was a good disclaimer. And I think we already knew that. Like,
do they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you like this game?
Yeah, I like the game.
Okay.
You better not take that out, because I've been simmering on that shit for months.
We're not going to take it out. Okay, next couple. Troy and Gabriella from High School Musical.
Oh, super problematic.
Yeah, and also another high school relationship that, I'm sorry, maybe lasts 3 years. We've all been there. Okay, he's too into basketball. He left to go to the playoffs. Is that what it is? Playoffs for basketball?
I think so.
I have no idea.
I think it's the playoffs.
And she started watching him.
Championships?
You know, she'd go to his games, but like he wouldn't care too much. He wouldn't even look for her in the crowd anymore after a while. So they just
I
fell
don't know
out.
anything about sports.
Me either. I don't know how people watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching other people play a game, usually with a ball. What are you, dogs? Seals? Like,
what are you, dogs?
I just don't understand it.
Yo, we watched the Tom Brady roast on Netflix.
Oh yeah, wasn't Kim Kardashian like booed?
Yeah, and they edited it out.
Of the Netflix?
They edited out of the Netflix.
Do you think she definitely requested that? She had her team go and be like,
Yeah.
she's too embarrassed, take that part out.
Yeah. They would have asked her to have been there. They would have asked her to be there and show up.
But
and
that
say
makes
something.
good TV. If I was Netflix, I'd be like, no, we're keeping this in. Like, you decided to come on the
Kim
show.
Kardashian, she like rules the world, right?
She could buy them.
Yeah, exactly. No, but we watched it and it was just like a lot of sports jokes.
I don't even know who Tom Brady is.
He's like a football guy.
See, I wouldn't even have known that.
Yeah.
But why do we care? So this whole thing's about him?
It's the roast. They're roasting him. And it's like a bunch of his football player team members and like the coaches, and they make a bunch of jokes, and it's like,
Is he old?
no.
Is he retired?
I think he's retired now, but
Because old is like 30 for...
But like everyone there was like, it's Tom Brady, like he's the football guy, like he touchdowns and like insane love for him, like insane love for him.
I would have been like,
for like winning games
with a ball. He goes after the ball. That's how I see sports.
People really go hard.
What does he play? Baseball? Football?
Football.
That's where you throw the ball.
Touchdowns.
Right.
You like tackle people to the ground and throw the ball and run, and you have to get to the other side, and then you like throw the ball down on the other side, and then that's a touchdown.
And these people get paid millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions and billions and trillions of dollars to throw balls.
All right, next couple. Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. Yes.
Yes.
Of course they stayed together.
Yes.
You know, when I first watched Gilmore Girls, I didn't like Luke, but he grew on me.
Insane.
He grew on me.
That's insane.
Yeah, come on.
I'm forcing Mom to watch it. Every time she's over to watch Ophelia, she watches Gilmore Girls.
Does she like it?
Yeah. She was like, oh, like, I don't like Luke. Like, he's mean. He's always angry. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but that's his thing. That's what makes him Luke.
No, but I love it now. But it took me a couple seasons.
So, like, Luca is a grumpy guy.
Okay.
And, like, he reminds me of Luke because he has, like, the softness for Lorelai, you know?
Yeah.
And he just, like, doesn't put up with shit, you know? He doesn't give a shit. And, like, Luca's like that. So I see Luca in Luke.
Okay.
And
even the names line
and that's, like, I understand that type of guy.
Yeah.
And I'm into it.
Okay. No, I like a grumpy, brooding guy, but he works at a coffee shop, so it you know what I
But
mean?
he owns it. Like, he
Okay.
owns his own business.
Right. Okay, Harry and Ginny from Harry Potter. Okay, this might be controversial. They're the most boring couple in fiction history. They're so boring. I would have preferred him with Hermione or anybody else. A professor. Anyone.
I love Hermione and Ron. I love Hermione.
Okay, you're right.
and
I do
Ron.
too. But Harry and Ginny,
And it's like Ron
I could fall asleep.
is so lucky. Like,
Yeah.
can we just say, like, she, like, was into, like, so into him the whole time. Why? You know who I would have wanted for Harry? Is Luna Lovegood.
Yes.
It made sense.
100%.
Why? Okay, Luna is everything. Why do we not appreciate Luna the way we should? Like,
I love
why
her.
are the men not going after Luna?
Yeah, no one went after her.
Why?
She's so cool.
And I feel like she, like, gave Harry Potter opportunities. They were alone together a lot, you know? They both see, like, the dead horses together. And
you know what? Draco and Harry should have got together. That would have been so much more entertaining than Ginny. I'm sorry, I'm a Ginny hater. I really am. I don't...
you'd probably like her more if you read the books, like the book Ginny. Apparently, it's a very different Ginny than what you see on...
Is there more chemistry in the books?
Yeah, I think...
Because...
And there's more... I don't know. She's got more character about her in the book.
Okay, but Draco and Hermione?
Yeah.
Come on.
I need to read that book.
You gotta read the fanfics. They changed my life.
I read the fanfics. I just haven't read that one.
Oh my gosh. You need to read Manacled immediately.
It's so long.
I don't care what you're reading right now. You gotta stop and read Manacled. Yeah, it is like 2,000 pages.
It Ends With Us.
Right, because we gotta go see that movie.
Yeah.
Do you ever like forget we're even doing a podcast? I feel like we're just talking.
Yeah.
And you guys are just here for it. Okay, moving
I
on.
still think that our podcast should have been called Tangents, because we go on tangents.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to a no sleep story to end off the video, okay? This is called I Should Have Read the Reviews.
Ew. Okay, let's see. I
Here we
I
go.
love No Sleep.
I need to try and speak slowly and creepily because I talk way too fast.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Here we go. My girlfriend moved out 3 weeks ago. My cat, Ruck, was really close to her, and now that she's gone, I can tell he's a bit lonely, especially when I'm at work. I came home a few times to my curtains ripped up or all the toilet paper in shreds. He puts them in the sheds. He's so angry. He's like, you're not gonna poop and wipe. You think you're gonna wipe after leaving me? Oh, this just ruined the whole thing. Should I start over?
Put the toilet paper in the shed.
Should I start over?
No. No.
Okay. The cat's angry that he goes to work. No, I have to keep up the creepy vibe. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done this last because we're always giggly before the podcast ends.
Okay, go.
Okay. The last straw was when I came home after working late to find he had clawed a hole the size of a dinner plate into the side of the sofa. I decided I had to do something. I tried different toys, even catnip, but nothing worked. One night, while browsing Amazon, I saw a pet camera. It's a tiny camera that records your pet on a live feed, so you can monitor their behavior while you're away.
So, Furbo.
Right. It even has an audio function, so you can talk to them. Sounded silly, but hey, I love my furry dude, so I bought it. I got overnight shipping and installed it immediately. I decided to set it up in my bedroom, as that was where Ruck dwelled the most. My first day at work, I think I checked that camera 30 times. When I spoke into the microphone, Ruck seemed to be happier, and I noticed there was no destruction around the house either. By day 4, I figured I'd solved the problem with Ruck. That leads me to right now. About 30 minutes ago, I climbed into bed with Ruck, ready to close my eyes, when my phone buzzed. A notification from the pet cam. I almost ignored it, sure I just triggered the thing, but I opened it anyway. What I saw made my grip tighten on the phone. Instead of a video of myself in bed, I saw a man, tall, gangly, with pale skin and large eyes. He was moving into my room with exaggerated steps like a sneaking cartoon character. He got right up to the lens, so close I could almost smell his rotten breath, and he smiled. I immediately paused the video, terrified. I looked at the spot where the man should have been standing, but there was no one there. I went onto Amazon and found the pet cam and read the reviews, hoping for some weird glitch. This had to be a joke. The first dozen reviews were pretty standard, but it was the last that caused me to bolt upright. The customer complained that the camera was on a time delay, sometimes as much as 15 minutes. I went back to the video and pressed play with shaky fingers. I watched in horror as the man slithered under my bed, giving the camera a wink before disappearing into the darkness. Then I saw myself enter the room and climb into bed before the video ended. Now I'm sitting in my bed, knowing he's under it. I could call the police, but I doubt I'd have time. So please, do yourselves a favor and read the reviews.
Why does he say read the reviews?
Because there was a time delay. But that wouldn't stop whoever came into the house. Like, ultimately, if there's a thing in your house that's going to crawl under your bed, whether there's a time delay or not, it's going to be there.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Right?
Creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's hard to find short stories on NoSleep because they're all really long.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I fit into
Honestly,
this?
that's okay, though. I don't mind a good long story.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you guys like NoSleep, we can try and do one every once in a while. I love these.
I love the NoSleep, and I love Am I the Asshole? And I love True Off My Chest.
I've never seen that one. Maybe I'll do that for next time.
Yeah.
So what is that about?
It's like people admitting things.
That they've done
like
wrong?
Coming clean with things.
True Off My Chest? Is what it's
True
called?
Off My Chest.
Okay, I'm going to look that up.
Can find some really unhinged ones.
Okay, guys. Well, end it off on a spooky note. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, if you want to check out our exclusive clip on Patreon about my delusional thing that I did in elementary school, go check that out. Link down below. And yeah, you're going to be here for the next episode, right? I believe so. Please tell me you are.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Because then I move, though, and then I won't be.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I'll be moving.
Right. But we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Okay. I need you here with me.
I think yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see you in our next podcast.
Bye.